And welcome. Right, yeah, we are back on. It's all right. It was annoying me, the fact that we couldn't. There's a bit of, yeah. I'll explain it. I'm not explaining very well. This to me always proves if your ground is sort of fairly good or not, and that is if this actually works, and it's not. It's too rounded, so it like literally is lost. I ran it across. Yeah, I did run it across the map. I did. Because it does have that ability, but yeah. So let's grab that. There's a bit of wood chips that's annoying me, and also we could do the stones as we're passing too. I'm just thinking of obviously our businesses, we've got them, and it is true. I always aim to do the self-sufficiency, but we've not done the self-sufficiency. But really, we don't need to either. So let's just grab that bit of like loose stone that it can't quite get because it's not quite. Ooh, it's just getting closer now. Yeah, so that sort of proves that it's not, yeah, not terribly fantastic. Well, where did I think we did tick. Yeah, no, that I thought we got 2,000 litres of that. Did I stick that somewhere else? Right, okay, I'm not sure. I thought it's true. I thought we had actually done that. So let's stick this away into the main silo. I do believe it accepts it, and I would like to get that wood chips. That was what was annoying me. What I thought, come on, grab the mover up. Let's get that. I keep wanting to call it sawdust. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Also, it needs repairing. So let's do that too as we're passing this beautiful bit. It's a fantastic tool. I do love it. I've got a very soft spot for this. It's obviously in comparison to the ones that came later. It's dearer, but I still love it. I think it's a really clever way of using some quite inexpensive, expensive things, inexpensive things to make a very good thing right back at the beginning of the game. When that's also another thing that's annoying me, is that's a little bit. Oh, it's so slow now. This is. I used to zip on this so fast, and that was before we got that new. Construction utilities. I literally did it with base game, and now it appears that it's horrible. So yeah, let's just try and soften this bit here because it is looking nasty. I've got to be careful though, because we might. I think that should be all right. I reckon. Right, so we need to drop this into here. And this is not handling this very well, actually. Again, its hitch works with some things and doesn't work with others, so I normally always extend that, but it should be alright. And then let's grab that little bit of sawdust, if I wish to call it sawdust. Yay, fantastic. And yeah, I'm very pleased with what we're doing, blown away, but I would like to, obviously at Kinlaig, it's the Highlands expansion. And I don't normally get excited about like Giants things, but I'm wondering, is this going to be like the one that shocks me? And like I don't look at it because I think, oh, it's Giants, and like they always release lackluster things that look fantastic, but like do just underwhelm you always. Now the map's not underwhelming. Well, it has in a way. It's more buggy. I mean. This wouldn't pass testing if it was anybody else. Should we just say that and leave it there? Yeah, really. I don't think I need to say any more, really. For saying it was, the map was so big, and then it did like an immediate update of about 4.5 gig. So you'd expect sort of almost perfection for that, and instead we've got a map that's very. Tetchy about what it accepts, and is that actually going up? I don't think it is. I think we've missed. That's because I'm not used to like seeing this as it is like now. Oh no, it has. Oh, I couldn't see the wood chips travelling up the. Yeah. Oh well, it's done. That's all that matters. Right, so yeah, it's true. It wouldn't pass testing. If this was anybody else going through the mod, you wouldn't get yours to go through with these level of things. So it's sort of really not what's going to clock it. It is. So it's sort of like, yeah, it's yeah, for saying, that's what I'm saying. It's but again, the fish farm bit That could be good, but we haven't got any space. Is what one thing I am going to say. Is there one on the map already though? So for once I could actually buy something on the map, because I don't normally do this. But I thought, well, you might miss out on something really quite special. So young fish breeding. Let's visit it. Whereabouts are we? On the map. So I think we can place this ourselves, but it is fairly hefty. So you'd still. That's why for once I'm wondering, do we actually go on the map? I don't normally do this, but yeah, for once I'm thinking, well, do we? Someone's left a drink of water on the PS water. Okay. Yeah. Well, I've no idea. No idea at all. Right. Okay. So we did find that there was a one of those that we've just seen that I can't remember its name. It's one of those there. Another one is. Seems we've got two forklift trucks in the area, and a. Now this I'm familiar with because I have worked in the places where they sort of live. So yeah, right. Okay. So this. How much is it? And let's just see our place on the map so we can see where we are. We are rather a long way from... Wait, it's not a very big area it needs, though, is it? Was there any free space on 5? Well, there is a bit of free space on 25, isn't there? Thinking about it, there was some at the bottom of the field. Yeah, well, this area here, I'm thinking. So how was the quickest way for us to get to that field, other than visit and then charge all the way across the field? Which I think it is that, yeah, you could see the path. So we own quite a bit of room here. I would imagine we probably own that bit of a shed by the look of it, I would say. And I would be right. So we own that there. So are we allowed to knock it down and put a fish farm there instead? Well, never say never. Yeah, no, it's a fair road thing. I mean, as the owners of this, but I mean, obviously, we're the owners of this sort of in spirit, because sometimes giants and other map makers say, no, you can't do this. So let's just like save it first, so that if we really think this is a bad idea, I suppose before we do anything, what we ought to do really is see, can we physically place a young fish breeding place down in productions? So let's look for this. And is there an old fish breeding farm? Because for once we've actually got quite, what my normal fear is in something like this is that, something new comes out, and because I choose the game start that I transform into different products. Okay, so we've got okay, so I mean, again, I'd like to have a go at onions, but they're not going to go anywhere away quickly, are they really? So that type of thing, I'm not worried about. Right, so it's not in cost, is it? So I would have thought it should have been shown before mine, really. So perhaps you can't. I could have sworn we saw this when we were looking. I'm sure we did. So maybe I whizzed past it, perhaps? Okay, or maybe it doesn't... No, it looks like a green tarpaulin type. Maybe it's in that kind of thing. I'm sure we didn't miss it. Yeah, that is definitely Highlands packed. So that's what I mean. Bakery and a carpentry, and then it like goes off on a tangent. There's a fish food factory, which doesn't look... Yeah, so you could make your own fish food. Well, it's a bit expensive for that, though, isn't it, really? Quarry. I've actually got my own. I don't need vegetable processing. Now, obviously, the other thing I could do is, because I make my own soup factory already, I could include the onions just as soon as I know what the field type's called. I could go into this mod and then actually add that myself. I may well do that. Yeah, truly might. So corner. Yeah, so that's it. So what? Ah, it's got its own section. Right, now that makes sense. So we need fish food first. Can we buy fish food? And if so, how much is it? That's got a small pond for fishing. Fish and fish food go into the fishing lake, and then you take fish out of the fishing lake. Offshore aquaculture. So I mean that's the ones I'm used to like having. Would that it would pretty much go there. Skyfin. Okay. Oh, hang on. So would it not go there? It's saying land is not owned by us. Let's put it in B mode first. Oh no, but yeah, but that is saying. Now hang on a minute. If we own that shed right there, surely the land is owned by us. And this is what I hate with maps. They're all as bad for this. I mean, because that way, is there any points at which this is owned by us? Can we get it to work? Oh, yeah, we could, actually. Yeah, we could. So that would work. Yeah, obviously overlap. So really, we could do it here, but we would have to knock the shed down. Are we equipped to do this? The other thing is the cost of the fish food. That is true. The fish food factory is 270 grand. We could buy the products for putting in because we'd like to see it. But that seemed to be a bit of a bigger thing for me. So can we buy fish food is the thing, or else where it, and also how much is it? Yeah, because what I normally find is with the Giants things that like some things like not at a good price and it's terrible. So what I'm saying is we need 72 fish food to produce 80 young salmon. So we need to find out A, how much the fish food is, and B, how much the young salmon you get for them, because this is where it usually falls down really badly based upon old things which Giants still to this day insist on doing this stupid that makes absolutely no sense cereal factory. Yeah, I just highlight this. So fish food, can it be bought? It can. We want buying. Well, it appears you can't. Everyone will sell it. But you can usually buy it from the warehouse. So that is selling. Yeah, so no one buys it. So, it always confuses me. I can never get this. As I said, this is one of those moments where I'm a bit dumb, and I can say that about myself because it's true, where it makes no sense. I presume that we would buy it, but it's yeah. So does that mean you see, to me, if Leander is just self-marketing, which doesn't sell things, then it's got to be that it's you can sell at there. It's what I would sort of say. So it's 1,000 and odd. So I'm not sure. Young fish breeding also, but I don't see that we can buy it. Anyway, that's my point. So that's bad because we would need to buy fish foods to do this. And otherwise, meaning we got to spend an absolute fortune. And the other thing is you've got to look at is it worth it? Yeah, I mean, before you go into any business, a sensible person. And see, that's a young salmon. Now, so actually the end product is worth almost 4 times the amount. Now, that's not a bad business, but we don't know enough about it to know whether that's a young. I've got trout as well. That's a full-grown trout. So trout are not so good. But young salmon, because I would presume you'd buy them. So actually, yeah, you've got to bear in mind you need to buy the salmon from the fish market. So I presume we can, like have it delivered as we do. So the young trout are cheaper, not by a lot, but they also are not so good. So if I was going into business, I would think I'd be going into salmon rather than, because I mean, I would sooner go for 3/8 in June, July than I would to go for like a lot less. But of course, the trout could be easier. So yeah. So I think we're going to go into a bit of salmon farming to have a look. We may or may not succeed, but you know, like sometimes you just got to. It could be a business that's a real beaut that I'd like think, oh, Giants, you actually did a really good. Are we determined we're going to do it here? Oh, I'm thinking of land. We have got a bit of land. Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, can we? Oh no, we do. We owned a bit. Oh, right. So yeah, I did think we owned quite a bit of land down here. Uh, no, right, okay, so up to about there, and there's two spots so far that we found where you could actually do it. One there, which is now saying we don't own it any longer. It overlaps with an object, so yeah, that'd be a bit tricky to do it there. That we could do quite easily there, but I'm just thinking of the fish food. If we needed to do the fish food, I think we might keep it as that and see, can we stick this? So that's right near the exit, isn't it? So do we not own? I thought we owned all the way down here. That said overlaps. Didn't say we couldn't do it. Yeah, so we could do it there if we B moded it. Would be 95,000. So it's as flat as a pancake. So that's a goer. But do we own that? No, so it is just this patch of land here. And let's just check that we're on that. Yeah, no, is the yellow chevroned area. It's quite a way away, though. But then let's try it. It's 95,000. We have the minutes are a little bit sort of well off. So let's just have a run down there. Let's shut our gates. Do we need to do anything? No, I think it was completely ready for us to plant. Yeah, this is quite amazing. So December, and we still own over 1 million. Not for much longer, I might add. But yeah, we do presently own that much. So let's we might be able to like jump to it, I'd say. Right, okay then. So I would imagine we like... Oh, you can go in. I thought wow. Well, that's a bit special. Right, let's switch on zone markers. Let's make... We don't do this very often, but like, you know, we really ought to celebrate this. So let's have a good look. Where do we add the actual fish into the place? We were in the right place for that. Oh, so storage is empty. So I presume that is then. So that means we could probably buy fish food. No, I couldn't see anything to. Do you grab the fish in a lorry then? A specially prepared lorry? At this juncture, I have no idea. So, products: young salmon 2. Cycles per month 96, cost per month 120. Cycles per month. So that they grow into young salmon 2, and then I presume at that point they become old salmon. So we just need fish food. So I presume then that there is no... Yeah, this is the kind of thing that I presume you... No, I think you do buy the fish. No, it's not what it's saying. It's saying you need fish food and it produces young salmon. So I presume it's sort of... Obviously, you got to think of this as a business then, really. But that I don't know, because it said you could buy fish from the fish market. So let's go to the fish market. Again, I apologize for this. I've not done any homework on this, but then I think sometimes it's nice to like learn with yourselves, because most of the time things are not too terrible. Although, of course, I can make a right hash of things. So let's have a look for the fish farm. If we go in prices, it did have the fish farm around. So young salmon Fish market. Can we tag said place? And then hopefully it should like shriek out to us on the map. And it is right up there in the town. So let's visit the fish market. And it looks very much like you can load fish on what pallets, perhaps? Well, we have said pallets. Surely you could... Yeah, but you've not got a vehicle. You've got to be right, haven't you, for loading? So, right, let's go grab our... We're not that far away, actually. Not really. So let's grab our... No, not the Xylon. That's not got the... It's one of these, I remember. Where is the flatbed? Ah, it's over there. Right, okay. He's got it at that one there. Well, he's not really he. It's a... Yeah. Let's get this taken and see if it's a flatbed then. Which I am not attached to, but I'm seeming to think that I am. Fantastic. Excellent. Yeah, this is... again, obviously, I sort of have had a wobble. I'm not the only one. Yeah, other content creators have also just... I was looking the other day at a content creator doing an item that he was having a bit of a holiday from content creating because he found he was stale and, you know, he's given himself a break from the game. So, and he's a successful, very successful content creator. Not one that I'd actually heard of, but so... We really should have gone left here. Luckily for us, nobody is actually behind us. It's very Christmassy. It is. They have spent a lot of time on that kind of thing with Christmas lights and such like things, which, yeah, it's... do we need... somebody to load us up? We may do. It might have been a mistake. It's very... There's a lot of water everywhere, aren't there? Now that... I'm sure that's flying. No. It's just we're seeing the sea in the distance. Is all. Oh, and the train as well. I see. And this is the other thing I like when we go on little adventures like this. You actually see the game... areas that you were not, you know, like aware of. In your own little world on any sort of game like this. Oh, we're on green as well. Fantastic. So the fish market is... Let's take a left and let's have a bit of a wander, I say. Because there's no better way than to create content when it's like... Oh, I like that. Growing on the wall. That's a bit special. It is. That is very... Yes, very oldie worldy, because we don't very often grow it now. It does too much damage to buildings. So we tend not to... yeah, it was when I was a kid, it was very popular, ivy. But it really is so damaging. So very damaging. I do like the wall art as well. I do. Giants. Farming simulator, as you'd expect. Yeah, it's still good. I like it. There's no denying that giants are creative. It's just that what they do with their creations that's always been a bit... That's a fish market. We've seen the little thing. Aha. There is indeed. Isn't this just... Oh, yeah. Alright, okay, so... not a lot is happening. So it's like a bit more than you think, or a bit less than you think, or... Let's flip around. So, I'm sure we... Yeah, no, it was leaning out, so... Ah, it was there. No, I think we can actually drive through. Yeah, we're grazing the building now. Let's behave. Well, I'm just trying to think of the other things. I think I'm right. I think this is where you'd probably... This is like Hutan Pantai, when you take your products to this place and drop it off and sell it at the fish market. Because obviously the fish market is the place where you would sell your end product. So buying fish, I think it's a matter of buying fish food, which is a dear expensive factory for 270,000. So it looks to me very much like that's completely different. Yeah, no, I mean we've bought, in that case, and we bought the cheap thing, and we now need to buy the dear thing. Yeah, it does seem that way. Is there a fish food place on the map? Because that probably would be not a bad idea to actually buy that. Now we know that actually we think we're right. What a fish food, young fish breeding, fish food factory requires flour. Oh my life, flour. Soybeans, canola oil. These are really expensive products. At least it's not too destructive. That's not Giant's normal style. It's all soybeans. Oh, it is as well. We can buy soybeans. We do actually have, strangely enough, quite a bit of olive oil. So it's the flour. We could, well, that means we're going to have to, we could do a mill ourselves. That's not hard. We could buy, I mean, I could allow this because I wish to see it is my main thing. Incorporating it into another thing is a completely different, so can we visit? And whereabouts are you? Actually not far away from where you were. Okay, let's steel ourselves. Right, okay then, we're in business. So, where is the loading place for this? This big yellow chevron there, I would say, is probably it. Yeah, I would say, oh, and this is where we dump our produce to make said items. Yeah, so let's have a look then. So yeah, we now own this, and it's actually on the map, and it's not terribly far away from us as well, which is a bit of a fluke in a way. It is. So we could do the olive oil one. Well, I mean, actually, we could sort of be clever and do like lots of fish food. So we could do sunflower. I mean, what I mean is we make sunflower oil. That's a point, actually. Yeah, we've actually got an excess. I mean, yeah, we've got 90,000 sunflowers oil. We know quite well that there's no way we could have that. But what I mean is we're trying to test something, and we're not actually selling this. So that, what I'm trying to say is, if I was prepared to buy some sunflowers to make into sunflower oil, so that we've got the ingredient for the fish food factory, then to be honest, I'm not at that point. It becomes something that's an entity that we've got, not something that we're making profit from. It's an ingredient at that point, so that's not too terrible. And we could do the same with olive oil, grab some of that too. And these are minor things. In fact, if anything, these are, yeah, I mean, that isn't so good. That's much heavier loss than the first one we saw. Now, isn't this funny that we've gone into oils? You know, that's not so much lossy. So the canola oil, you're only losing the 12 canola oil. What I mean is, you know, really you're losing 12, and that, strangely enough, it's the canola oil that is 12, and the same as the olive oil. That's heavy loss, though. We're losing more soybeans and more flour. So, yeah, that's not so good. We could have a greenhouse. That is a goer, but I think actually if we're doing olive oil, canola oil, and sunflower oil for this, we've got 3 of them to make fish food. That's not so terrible. Yeah, because obviously we've got to buy the soybeans in. Now, that is an expensive commodity to buy, but and I suppose we could make some soybeans, but you'd have to do an awful lot of mass. Well, we have got a very large field that we've just actually done, so it's not beyond the realms of a possibility thing. We could buy some in for the first year and then literally plant the massive field of soybeans. I mean, because we have into the cash now, we're definitely no longer millionaires. Yes, I mean, our fields, field 25, would make quite a good. Yeah, so we've got canola, strange enough. We've got field 5. Could we afford 24? We could. Oh, that's actually quite reasonable. And has it got a. Nah, oh, it's opposite 25. So, although it's a long way from home in a way, we could buy one. I think actually no, one's bad because it's got like all the forest around it. That's why it's so expensive relatively. Whereas this hasn't got very much at all other than the land. Now that is actually quite a good price. So I think we're going to do it. What I'm trying to observe crop rotation. We had sunflowers in this year, so I would rest the soil, and we would do sunflowers here, and we would do soybeans here. We could do a cereal crop in this, which if we're making flour, we could do. Well, I mean, it's this, or we could do rice. No, but yeah, I'd be tempted to use it for the oil then. No, we can have a rice thing for that, I suppose, really. But yeah, because rice is a super thing. I can't remember how good it is because we can do it with a normal thing. Oh, I can't. No. I haven't got the mod. So, let's go old school and we'll do one of my favourite things, which is oats. Yeah, we'll do oats. So, oats, huge fields of soy, and 24, we're going to do sunflowers again. So, yeah, we're down to 558,000. Have we viewed? I don't think we've gone through the month. Yeah, we'd looked at this not long back. We've just got a few litres that have come through. So, yeah, our water buffalo are fine. So we really just need to get on with buying. We've got some of the ingredients already. We need to, first of all, again, we haven't finished with spending money, which is quite frequently the case when you are doing buildings. Now, have we got enough room on our original? I know I did spy this, that although I'm saying, oh, we're out of space, actually, not really. Oh, I do like the fact that I can visit the water point. Yeah, that is quite nifty. Yeah, it's brilliant. So we have got quite a bit of room, actually. More than you think for making productions. There's a massive area here that's you really doesn't need to. We can sort of do it in the lee of those trees as well, really. It's another thing I was thinking. Because it just goes up high. So there's a bit of room there. So let's have a look at a bakery, a mill. No, it's a bakery. No, we need a mill first. We have got both. No, we want factories. Did I put it in, though? Because I wasn't expecting to actually do this. Now, we could actually go then. In that case, we could. The one thing I did put in was the multifabricator, which does pretty much duplicate some of the things that we've done, but it's still not too terrible a price. And I did know that I put that in, and it actually does do. We would actually have a straw product as well. So that's not too terrible. So it's the super. We would go super. If we're going to do it, we may as well go. So the super. And now this may not fit there. Yeah. Oh, no, it's the. Yeah. Now we don't need anything at the back. So could we B-mode that without going into the middle of the tree? I'm trying to look at where the trees are. There's only a bit of a bough going through one of them. No, that's not. Yeah, let's pull back a little. I think we can possibly do it there. And still have plenty of room for getting past. Some of this is a bit of a window dressing. So I would say that's probably the last thing we can do. Let's just see if we need to do any softening or it's not done the great. So we need to like lower. Yeah, it's not done the great. So we need to lower that. I always get this wrong. Am I going to... No, I did it right. Now, did I put that down with B mode? Yeah, that is true, actually. It has a grate, a proper grate. There. Why is it not drawing the grate? I'm sure I didn't. Right, okay, let's delete it and do that again. But I didn't think I'd done B mode. I thought I did it straight off normal mode. Oh, we'll give it... Oh, we can't give ourselves the money back. Okay, well, does it matter that it's not got a grate? No, we're not wasting... I was going to say, this is the trouble. You have those beautiful mods on, don't you, that make your life easy, and then obviously you come in the game now and you've lost your grate. But as long as it actually works, I'm not worried. And now that is strange, because that's... is that... Did I pull the grate in, or did I call for it dynamically? I can't remember. I know this means nothing to you, but there's two different ways, at least two different ways, that you can do this. Let's have a bit of an inspection, because, yeah, this is a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none, but it's not a jack of all trades. It does the following things. It's a mill and a bakery and oils. It is a super dairy specialist. It doesn't mean it's a super dairy, although this one is, because it's a super. It's a spinnery and a tailor. It does sugars and straw, canned goods, and more. Much more. Yeah, it does. But yeah, it's fibbing. It doesn't do much more than that, really, because it would be a bit of an amazing thing. So we want the super multifabricae. It does do what it says pretty much. So in a way, did we put the dairy down yet? Yes. Yeah, so in a way we've duplicated a little bit. I'm still would prefer to use the dairy anyway. So although there is a bit of that, we're going to use that. We are the super multifabricae. We can just do the bread and the mill. Yeah, so we can do barley flour, and we can do corn flour, and we can do oat flour. So we're going to do that for ourselves. We can also do rice flour, sorghum flour. It's a bit of a specialist. It does do quite a few things. And also, strangely enough, does wheat flour, as you'd expect. That I incorporated the soup into this one. So again, that's it. And then does the straw mod. That I wanted that everywhere. So I thought, well, the best way to incorporate that is literally... Oh, and it has got all of them. I missed one of them out. Yeah, I missed the straw cutlery. It is now back, so we're good. Just checking that I've not got anything missing. Yeah, so this does the raisins as well. You can see that actually... Well, we could sort of transfer our produce across into this. Distribute, couldn't we? This has got rather a good storage, which you'd expect from such a big building, really. It's true, but we could leave the cheese and all that things alone. Yeah. Yeah, it does. It is quite amazing. I'm really quite pleased with this. So it's true. Just trying to... Yeah, no, that's it. That is the lot. So, yeah, that is what this does. So, apart from it's missing grate, which, again, Kinlaig, it seems to be doing quite a bit. But we could sort of now start to use this rather than that. We do know that the loading on these is terrible. Not so much this one. That one wasn't quite so bad. Now, have we missed anything on the the oils and that? Is there anything like the grapes? When do they sell? And is it starting to reflect the pricing? Or is it that Kinlaig has broken that too? What I mean is, I know I've changed the price. I could literally show you the mods folder and that right now by swapping the camera to my other feed, which shows everything, whereas this only shows Farming Simulator window. So yeah, I could sort of do that. So olive oil, no, that still shows it as being olives as like dearer than the olive oil. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sell them, but what I mean is that's still terrible. So we want... When does that... So June, July is when that sells. And... Again, yeah, so you sell that to them and you, no, yeah, you could sell a young salmon, but I think the whole reason is like fattening up till they're old salmon, isn't it? Till it becomes salmon, and then at that point, you sell them for a lot. So I presume that is the whole point to those, the way you fatten them up and you grow them. So that's the other thing we don't know is how long. All right, so then let's have a look. I think I've been on this so long that I've forgotten what I'm actually there for. Yeah, that was it. No, that's reminded me. That's all I needed to do was look at the grape. So G for grape. My grape juice is worth. You see, it shouldn't be now. It should be worth 1, and they're both the same. Yeah. So again, very, very good grape juice in comparison to what grape juice should be. It's double. Perhaps then I haven't lowered it enough. Perhaps it should be 0.5 then. So maybe me then, but I'm sure that was that to begin with, and I have changed that. So that to me makes no sense. It used to be all of the products were 2.85. I don't know why I'd done that, but I did. And then I've obviously changed this, and yet it still says the same price. So I wonder if the map, takes a snapshot of it as it was when I brought it in, because it's not making any changes to things as I've made changes to the mod. So that's what I'm wondering. All right, so the other things is we are looking for our oils. We haven't got any canola oil as of yet. It's olive oil. Which that isn't too much. Now that I got fairly right. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive than Giants, and that is December, January, which we've just done. So it's sunflower oil, which I think was March, if I remember what we did learn. Sunflower oil was March. Yeah, February, March time. So soon then. Excellent. Right, so we could now replace the grapes and oils, it's true, and we could go to the multifabricate. So yeah, that going forwards. But yeah, I mean, the other thing is obviously we've got all of these sunflower oil, which we need to, well, we could distribute it. That's my point. We could like go to that and say distribute from the super grapes and oil. So we have a shed load of that. We now instead we go distribute, and the fish food factory, we could call for said oil. No, storing, but we need to activate it like that. So now we need to do some flour and some soybeans. So we need to be grabbing some flour products. Let's get this show on the road, because I'm quite sure that everybody wishes to see this particular thing being done, including myself as well. I'm really definitely up for this. Right, let's grab a trailer. Let's go grab some. Trying to think which is the cheapest. We could do corn. It produces flour, standard flour. I mean, I could have gone 2 ways. I could have made special, but it's just flour, and it really is just flour. So yeah, we could go for. I hope this still. I should just work. It's only graphics. Obviously, it's a bit odd because it's pulling from a Giant's repository. Really, this is a bit hilly. Really. Yeah, let's turn the zone marks off because they're annoying me already. Yeah, there's loads everywhere down this end, so let's get this sorted. Right, should just about do that, I think. We could go wheat, actually. Why not? I'm a little bit out. I think that's probably more like it. Now, we certainly have spent a lot of cash to do this, so I really hope this is not a 6-year project that's going to take us 6 years to break even, because usually along the way, that's what happens with Giants. So this could be a one-time only deal where we realise how terrible this business is, or It could be like the wood businesses that were in Silver. Now they were actually quite. They were definitely a good option. Now this is not liking this. I did sort of expect that, but I thought it was worth trying. I think I did know this before. Yeah, I remember. I think that we tried this, and it's not very good. Yeah, it's a bit. The hitch doesn't agree with it. There's quite a few things that don't agree with it. Now, moment of truth. Does this still work? I'd imagine it would. It's a tip point. As long as it's struggling with it, let's let go. Let's grab one of the others. Now then, it's the JCB. Somebody's on the bottom field. I can't remember who it was. Universal. Let's just set that going up to the almost the edge of the thing. And we will grab the JCB, which I hadn't started his engine. Right, let's see, because you are a bit of a beast. Although 306 horses are not what they used to be, really. It is definitely a true thing. It is quite... Yeah, I didn't know anything... can honestly say, hand on heart, but I really did not know that the oils were a business that the fish needed. I can honestly say that. So we were sort of a little bit fluky, that we sort of already have heavily into oil production, which is obviously a key component to the fish business, which is a bit of... yeah, it is actually. I mean, it's not something I do frequently, so... I remember you might not... no, it really is not. Hang on a minute. No, you can see the grades. You can. So, which means it's too high. So we really do need to go quite low then. That really has gone. No, wrong way. Wow. So that may well... yeah, no, obviously with grades, it is very, very... Well, I suppose that does show one thing, and that it shows my chevrons that you can't actually see normally. Can you see them on the edge? Yeah, if you don't get this right, yeah, it has to sense this. So what I mean is the angle. Sorry, not your angle. Yeah, it's got to be visible. Can we... No, let's get there. We need to go a little bit lower still, I think. Let's just go a little tiny bit lower so we can almost see the edges of that. And then I think we should be in business. Yeah, I think that if we do the level with that, I think will be about perfect-ish. We need to go quite wide as well, otherwise it's not going to work. Right, okay, now let's try that. Let's do a bit of softening because it's going to be a bit of a mess otherwise. Which does immediately raise the level again a little. That's why I went a little bit lower than I thought I needed. So this should now actually sense that, because the height should be about right. And you see, that's all it takes. It just sort of shows just how important something like that is to a production. If it's all of a sudden raised because it's buried, you will not be able to dump into it, as we quite plainly could see. So that is quite amazing. So we need to make some flour. And I think if I remember rightly, it was the very last thing at the bottom. It was indeed. Not a bad memory. Activate, and we need to... yes, so we need to... You've got the wheat in there. We're making the flour. We need to distribute that to the fish food factory, which it does need flour. And it needs soybeans, and it needs sunflower oil. So that's, yeah, that is our first one. Let's grab some soybeans. So 70 tons of soybeans. which we've got to buy in for now. And we will see how much fish food that actually makes. Let's get this show on the road, and then we're going to get out of the month of December, I think, and go to January. See what cycles this hugely expensive fish food factory actually does. Of course, once I know what I'm doing, I can make one of my own, and it will be hexagonal. So we want soy. This is going to be a little expensive. It'll be a lot cheaper than from a lot of places, but it's still not going to be cheap. We have contacts but soybean is still expensive. It is, but on hard economy, it's still expensive to buy, but not so good to sell. So how much is this costing us for 70 tons? Wow, read it and weep. Well, yeah, you got to, yeah. I mean, so far this business has cost us rather a lot. I mean, we can't include the businesses that we've actually had to buy. That's what I'm going to say. That really is, you know, it's an incidental, isn't it? But we should see how well we do with this business. That is really intriguing. Right, so then, bestest direction. That is true, actually. Yeah, I've only been here. So I need to tag the place. Would be the best bet. Right, so it is still... Oh, it is right at the front still. Oh. Let's be good. This was the thing that I used to hate about Hootenpantai. Those traffic lights were a menace. And you couldn't avoid doing it either. So, yeah, it was... a very authentic English town, Scottish actually, but yeah, I meant British, but yeah. So we want to take a left. Oh, we've gone the scenic route, haven't we? Well, it's nice to see the town. Oh, we're on green. We can do it. Yeah, so we're going to have to sort of go all the way, because somebody missed the left turn. We're going to have to go all the way around the town. But as I said, it really is nice to see the town with its very Christmassy light. So it's down there we need, really. Wow, that is something else. We're doing it now. We're getting closer. Well, it is nice sometimes to actually own it. This is actually breaking quite a big tradition. Oh, I believe we know that tractor. Yeah, I nearly always build my own productions, but obviously this you can't. So let's just nudge that a little, because otherwise we're going to wallop that traffic light, which we already have. You're causing me issues, tractor. Please, can you sling your hook or reverse or something out of the way? You are causing mayhem. Let's go into this area here. That's what I'm thinking. Or maybe this area here. It's a very long trailer, actually. I did know this already, but it sort of really brings it home that this is a really long trailer. We do actually put headers on it and all manner of things, so it really is, it's true. This I already knew. Right, so then we need to... Now, this is the bad thing about the 70 ton. It's a beautiful bit of kit, but it is a very, very long trailer. And we still need to back up and try that again, because it's like... Ooh. Well, that was a bit different. Yeah, no, the bad thing is as well, Right, so we need to be swinging terribly wide, probably even going around on the wrong side to begin with, to make this turn and go right by the time it gets past that, is what I'm thinking. And I would say you're not far off. It's a very authentic... it is. I've got to be honest, Giants have spent... This is some beautiful modelling. Definitely. Right, fantastic. I think the tagging untags itself, doesn't it, now that you actually reach it? Yeah, it does, which is, I think, does it? It didn't seem to. It's still saying, yeah, it's not untagging, is it? No, I thought it did. I thought when you actually tagged it and then you reached it, it stopped. Right, so then that should now. No, we've got to make some flour. So the flour will overnight. Oh, it's only 80,000 litres. So actually, that is quite considerable. So on the hour, we should get. We've only 10,000 litres. So we should fill that straight away. If we go till 12 o'clock, I believe we did that. Let's just check. It's not going to take as long to actually reach that, is it? So. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, it did it. So soybeans, sunflower, and did we switch on the flour? And yeah, we did. But did we tell it to distribute? This is my usual thing. Oh no, we did actually. It's just obviously not doing it instantly. So have we done any? Is it flour? 239 litres. Wow, that's a bit... Well, it's only been on a few minutes in its defence. It's not like we've gone through the month where we could expect some action. It was like literally 13 minutes, so I don't think they've done terribly badly in that time to actually make any flour. So we're going to go through till tomorrow morning, I think. We've done fed our animals, so let's go through. And it will be 9 o'clock. Oh, that's true. Actually, we've not actually done that yet, have we? Have we got anything in the sales? No. So let's. I did put this back in, yeah. As you can see, I just never used it yet because we've usually been speeding through and looking at things, which we shall do. We're not going to break a tradition. We'll see if there's any things left. Now, strangely enough, I find that the sleeping is. Oh wow. Not a bad tick up. It's nice to see a dusting of snow. Ooh. So actually quite a bit. So what does that do? The onion windrow picks of the windrow again. Huh? That's poor German translation. The onion windrow picks of the windrow again, cleans the onions and drops them on the desired side of the tool. Cleans the onions and drops them. Okay, so you put dirty onions in and you get clean onions out. Right, okay. Yeah, that's definitely true. We no, we won't do. We'll do the onions on another Let's Play. We're doing the fish. There's only so much anyone can do. We could actually buy all this lot. Yeah, so none of it's exactly going to make us a lot of cash, is it? But it's yeah, keeping us into the business that we've actually sort of it says 3 point no, but we can see a 3 point no, so at the back, yeah, and that as well. What I'm interested in seeing though is how are we doing on our fish food factory. We have produced, well, we have no flour. So why have we got no flour? we've got 12,235 litres of... no. I know why this is. Right, I'm going to have to do a trick. Now, obviously, our flour is special flour, so it's flour 1, right? So the game doesn't know what flour 1 is. As in, yeah, I'll explain this in English. What that means is my flour's not normal flour. It is, but the game doesn't understand that. So this is asking for standard flour, and we produce special flour that it doesn't think is flour. So therefore, I'd have to go into the fish food factory and tell it what that is and change the recipe inside the fish food factory for this to work. Or, alternatively, I could do what I've done in the chipping factory, which is I've got a convert wood chips recipe, which converts poplars into wood chips as if it goes through a chipping machine. So we could also, in the Super Multifabricae, convert our special flour to flour in the game. That would work. So we could do that, and that would then work. So yeah, it's not all. That's not bad. It's a super. So 12,000 it's not too far away from what I was aiming for a super, really. About 10 tons like minimum, and some things are already good, so that's not bad. I'm going to leave it here. So I've got my work cut out. I've now got to do a little bit of a recipe tweak on the Super Multifabricae so that it's so I've got a bit of weird graphics going on. It's just, yeah, some things are like, oh, we still got the indicator on. Let's switch that off. That's what you get. You see, I'm not used to doing the indicator. No, that's lights. Yeah, that's it. Switch off. Nice one. So January 904, we'll get the animals fed next session. I'll get the recipe done in the Super Multifabricae to sort this out and to convert our flour to standard flour, which is quite an easy process to do. And then we'll be in business. I might actually do that quite a bit, because it's not a bad idea. Yeah, so all that remains to be said for this session is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.